Hello, my name is Kanisha. I'm originally from Illinois, but I moved to Minnesota in 2015, where I've been ever since. I became a member of the Urban Homeworks family in 2018, where I just love everybody in there. Um, I'm a single mom of 9 children, but I'm taking care of 7 of them because half of my kids are grown. With this program that we're having, like, I hope that it gets passed because there's a lot of families that's struggling. There's a lot of families that's going through a lot of stuff, and it's things that parents didn't even know that they had going on because of the pandemic. You don't want to have to pick between food or rent or having to pay for gas or having to buy clothes or shoes. Like, it'll help out if you just want to save and just stack up where you could just save money where you can afford to pay rent, or if you feel like you want to move or buy a car. And it's also good for the children if you want to have some little extra money to take them out somewhere and have fun. It's good for the kids and it's good for the parent. I think that they should pass it because there's a lot of people that's struggling. A lot of people can't afford to get on Hennepin County because some people don't have homes and some people don't have family. Like me, I don't have family like that's close to me. All my family is scattered in other states and it's just me and my kids. And sometimes I want to go visit, but I can't because I don't have the money to go travel. I have to work and make sure my bills are paid, make sure my light and gas and my rent is paid, and make sure my kids have everything that they need because my kids are my life and they are important to me. And my home, I'm glad that I've been staying in a stable place. I don't want to be where I was when I first moved out here when I was homeless, where I stayed in a shelter. I stayed at Mary's Place for 8 months, and then I got my first place out here, which was good until like a couple of months or a year in, when I found out the person I rented a house from wasn't an honest person. So with all of that going on, that's when Urban Homework stepped in and they helped out a lot of the residents. And I would never want to be in that position again because I like stability. And it's good for children to have stability so they can keep growing like they need to be. But like I said, I hope that they do pass it because it'll help a lot of struggling parents. It'll help a lot of people that really, really need help. It's hard when you don't have anybody, and sometimes you try to get help from the state, and depending on what state you're living in, you're limited to the help that you can get. And it's hard. If this passed, like, it'll help a lot because, like, there's a lot of people in the bind right now trying to get rental assistance, and a lot of money is already gone from helping. And, like, I don't want to be in that predicament again. Like, before I came to Minnesota, it was a choice that I had to make where I had to separate my kids, and that is something that I'll never ever do again, where I had to take the one part of my kids and then leave 2 of my kids here. And I'll never do that again because I saw with my own eyes how that really, like, really messed my kids up, because we always was together, and then from us to go from being together and then split apart, the behavior changes, and you see that and you like, why did this happen? And then you can't get mad at the child because it's not the child's fault when situations like this happen, because you have to think about, what do I have to do? I have to send my kids somewhere that I don't want them to go? Do I want to send them to family members that I don't talk to? Or do you want your kids to go in the system? You don't want your kids to go in the system. You don't want your kids to go in the system at all. Mm-mm. And then if they do go in the system, then you being that parent, depending on what you got on your background, you have to work 10 times as hard to get your kids back. I'll never let that happen again. Well, I have to choose because I never want to choose because I want them to stay with me, even though they wasn't away from me that long. A month is a long time for a child. Not to an adult, but for a child, that's a lifetime. Because they like, where's my mom? Is they coming to get me? Did she forget about me? No, I never forgot about you. I came and checked on you every week. I came to bring you things. Like, that's something I never want to go through ever in my life. And that was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And I never want to go through that again. Because you can't get that time back. You can't get that time back at all. You have to think about the kids in situations like this when they get uprooted. They miss out on school. They miss out on the people that they got used to where they was living at. Like, they miss out on friendships. They miss out on just growing like they supposed to. Well, they gonna grow anyway, but they gonna miss out on having trust issues, because they'll be like, once we get comfortable, then boom, this happens. And they'll feel like, oh, we're always waiting for that other shoe to drop. Like, because sometimes kids don't adjust as fast as an adult can, and you can't make that child be like, oh, we going through this and you're just gonna have to accept it. It doesn't happen that way. So you have to get that child to readjust all over again, and it's hard for a child to keep doing it over and over and over, and then eventually they just break down. Like, that's another reason why a lot of kids have the things that they're going through because of homelessness and be readjusted, or moving here and moving there, or not having stability. I think this would be the most important, because like, it'll help a lot of people from getting evicted, and then you won't have like a lot more people that's homeless, where they can actually like have people that have some type of stability. And you don't want like it to be overrun with homeless people, and then once that happens, then they'll be looking like, wow, we should have just did this. So before that happens, like, I really wish they really think hard and just think about the people in the communities and how that'll help everybody that needs it. So like I said, I really hope that they do pass it.